there's anything you need, please, let me to mine water.
Oh, you poxy old salt. Spill what you know before we spill your guts.
Seraphim, you have a rather curious method of making a request. How often has this worked in your favor?
Well, mayhaps a time or two. Suppose it works best with a gun behind it, ma'am.
Seraphim. Romero described you pointedly. He told me that you would come were ye in danger.
Danger? Nay, not I. I do seek him, though, and I feel that he needs me. Feel it in the deep depths of my furry funsack. If you care for him, you'll be telling me what you know.
He bade me not tell anybody of his plans, ye included. He's left this area, afeard of the danger he fishes on those near to him.
He's the nearest thing I got to kin. Why didn't he trust me?
He did trust you. He trusted you wholly. I'll tell you, and trust ye to con best what to make of the conning. Romero treated me as galleon for mine clipper. A stuggy trade, surely, but he insisted that he needed the speed. I can't tell you what he intends, but he set sail for Sayuka, intending to replenish there. That's everything I con, for whatever good it does you.
He gave up the sorcerer? And for what? An elven clipper? Makes as much sense as Doug's on a Drake cap. He'd be easy catchings for any freebooter after his hide. That salted cockfarce be the biggest threat, sure as shit. But others will want that bounty too. Not to mention the favour comes with it. Surely thinks he's protecting me. Stubborn as I seem, Captain Watcher, Romero makes me look the dabbler. Aye, Cap, you've read my mind. And here with me thinking that were my skill in particular. Thank you mightily, lass. Enjoy the baths.
Safe travels. The wages of war catch ye up soon or soon.
You and I, we have a mutual friend, do we not? Good, good. A Royal Deadfire operative, Quarno, and his Principi associate, Tola, will meet tonight to discuss the details of business arrangement. They have bought out the entire first floor for privacy's sake. Even Gunnar, their proprietor, will excuse himself. Only bathhouse attendants will be allowed to remain, to ensure their comfort. You understand? He is a snake in the body of a man. Though he is supposedly the Royal Deadfire Company's man, he always seems to be working some deal on the side. Tola is fond of drink, and her tongue flaps loosely when she has had too much of it. I will disguise you as a bathhouse attendant, so you might observe their meeting. With luck and some cunning, you may be able to discover the details of their special arrangement. You will not be able to take your gear, but do not worry. Should the situation get out of hand, there will be a stash of weapons hidden in one of the changing booths. But I am sure it will not come to that. Gelarde. Then you will take your disguise, and I shall take your equipment, Ak. Take this rice wine as well. Perhaps you will find use of it, eh?
Ah, what timing. Lounging in all this water's making me thirsty. You seem familiar. Do I know you? Or is it the wine that makes me think so? It's probably the wine. Flatterer. I'm no queen of Nekataka, but I do all right. I captain a ship for the Principi, and the big grouchy guy back there, Quano, works for the Royal Deadfire Company. Sometimes, when he's not doing stuff on the sides. Doing stuff like selling me cannons. That's what we're celebrating. Did I mention that? Has anyone ever told you you're great? 'Cause you are really great. You should ditch this stupid bathhouse. Join my crew. I just got a bunch of fancy new cannons from Quano. We'll be the terrors of the Deadfire. It'll be fun. I'm gonna blow up some Valian trading company ships and take their luminous Ardra. But shh. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. My large friend and I are celebrating a business transaction. But I can't say anymore. No, I've already had too much.
If I grow hungry or thirsty, I will call for you. Until such a time, leave me in peace. What reason does an attendant have to speak with me? Ah, I see. What do you wish to know? I manage munitions, cannons, gunpowder, and the like. What do you wish to know? Captain Tola is a creature of the Principe, though a minor one at best. In truth, her status matters little to me, for she has the coin to purchase enough munitions to outfit an entire fleet. What do you wish to know? Find me a man who does not appreciate a fleet of cannons at his command, and I will show you a fool. The Principe appreciate cannons more than most, and they know when to turn them toward Valian trading company ships to get what they want. And some ships, let us say, they are ripe for the plucking. What do you wish to know?
Do you suppose a Hasongo was a kind of vengeance for Rawatai's assistance with the Godhammer? Oh, listen to me. It all sounds perfectly mad. Perfetto. What did you discover? Diverus? That is worse than I suspected. Please, explain. Spare me no details. Madiko, our convoy routes are meant to be a well-guarded secret. I might as well have sent the Principe a letter. An interesting scheme. Fortunate that you were able to get wind of it. That is enough to work with. Aggressiva. I do have another matter I could use your assistance with, Watcher. If you have a moment. Not quite, though you may feel the need for a personal visit yourself after. It concerns a business associate, a captain by the name of Ferrante. Something of a notable figure among the Principi, I'm told. A more reasonable specimen, but yes, not the most ideal of circumstances, but then little about any of this has been ideal. Captain Ferrante will have the details, but the matter concerns a contact of his on the island of Crookspur. Apparently, they're having some trouble out there with the hostile tribe. You help them, Ferrante helps the company. You've proven resourceful. You make the logical choice. I would not normally enter into such pacts with the likes of Ferrante. The company's assets are in some disarray. Our resources are not what they once were. It is a shameful state of affairs, but I am doing what I can to remedy the situation. You'll find Ferrante in Dunwich. Dunwich is a den for pirates, as you might imagine. You'll likely be in less danger there than on the sea, but all the same, I recommend extreme caution.
The former Lord of Cadnua and one-time Terrifier of Harbor Masters. If dockside tales are to be believed. Other than Hasongo, you have not brought much good news of late. So, in addition to pirates, profiteers, and slavers, the Deadfire has a vengeful god roaming its waters? If your report is true, he's stumping port towns into craters. I don't much care why he's doing it. He must be stopped. If there were help to be found at the palace, do you think Deadfire would be such a mess? The Valians won't lift a finger if it isn't to snatch a coin, and the Huana will barely do that much.
Success in trade has been quite elusive for the Rauataians, but the bitterness suits you well.
No one takes charge to solve the big problems. But perhaps we could work together to our mutual benefit. Look around. Deadfire's full of fertile, temperate islands. Except for Andra's mortar. It's largely free of rough weather. Yet much of it is uninhabited. Itinerant tribes drift between some of the islands, and smugglers and slavers cluster around the rest. It's a waste. Imagine what this place could be, with well-guarded shipping routes. How many Rauataians we could feed with plantations here. The Valian Trading Company wants to leech every last coin they can from the Deadfire, no matter the eventual cost. They're little more than thieves. The Principi are actual thieves, no matter their pretensions of nobility.
Aye, and honest about it besides. Also talented, charismatic, and spectacular betwixt the sheets.
And the Huana are happy to let them all pick away at their fractured empire. We're interested in building something here. That's a naive view. One our enemies are keen to promote. Rautai's violent storms have shaped and hardened us as much as they have our homeland's rocky terrain. But it remains a difficult place to live. So, we rely on trade, and on plantations we've established here. And those developments also create a more stable, productive Deadfire. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Deadfire needs more of that. If you're chasing the god who's stomping this place into the ground, then we have a common goal. And if you're going to survive here, then you could use an ally. You've already helped us immensely at Hasongo. Once repairs are done, we can resume much-needed shipments from the farms back to Rauatai. It's also a welcome indication that someone around here can get things done. You've already spoken with Atsura. For now, I suggest you continue to work with him. I might have something for you later. Notice that, did you? Saltpeter is one of our chief resources at Rauatai, and we believe in putting resources to use. Now you can see why we didn't want the Valians nosing around our fort. Hazatoa, Atsura and I usually have a game running, and this one's been going on for over a month and a half. Atsura's good at misdirection, but I've got a mind for the long game. You look like you've come with a purpose. It happened a year into my first command. We were chasing pirates along Rauatai's south coast, and they landed a shot right next to our magazine. A lucky hit. I ran below. The fire was already spreading and making for our powder stores. I smothered what I could with my uniform, pulled the rest away with my own hands. We don't get to choose our challenges, do we? Just the way we meet them. There's a cost to every victory, and the win goes to those willing to make a sacrifice. I'll bet you already know a thing or two about that. And if you don't, Deadfire will teach you soon enough.
Reckon that's the first time I ever bore witness to my own demise. It was not pretty. Never woke with such a driving need for reaping before. It's making my hands shake. It did for a while, but then it wore off. All this essence I've gathered, it soaked the blessing right up. Left me with hardly none. You sound like my high priestess Samhain. She never shuts up about the living, when she ought to worry more about the dead. Seems the more souls I gather, the better I see Gaun's will, and the less I get a wink of sleep. Night or day, sleep or waking. It's getting harder to tell what's real from what's just yet to come. There is something I'm meant to do, though, once I gather enough souls. Us Gaunites, we're supposed to shepherd lost souls, not just gather them. The harvesting's only the first part. If I were to dump the souls, it might make me dream less, like before. Or, darn it, who knows? Maybe it'd just make it all worse. Either way, I've got to find my purpose. Will you help me, Watcher? I was hoping you might would. Sometimes I feel like, with you by my side, I can stand against gods. It'll need to be a potent source to overpower the draw of my lantern. It's gotta be luminous, for sure. That's one problem solved. But what about the itty-bitty issue regarding the god of rebirth not actually being in hell? The souls will make it safely, but who's to see to their proper reseeding? This is a huge risk of Aora's balance. You really trust Malgrin not to rebirth Aethasians as warriors of the flame? Think Galawain won't be greedy? Gone aside, the god's past actions don't instill me with the greatest confidence. Normally, I'd simply safekeep him until the god of rebirth could return to hell. But put my flock into the hands of experimenters? How can we trust they'd be successful? Or hell, even to be well-meaning in their intent? Just the thought's making my shoulders twitch. You're sure about this? You're right. What if there's no one left to release the souls from the lantern after the darkness has come and Aora's recovered? The gods will survive, but Kithkind may not. Guess that settles it then. Find me an animancer, and we'll try it.
I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Cadnua, much less at the Order of Akanta. I know that you did not intend for misfortune to befall me, and I appreciate what you said in Queen's Birth. Perhaps this time will go better for both of us. You only have to ask. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. I failed to complete my mission and had no excuses. The Republics had lost a golden opportunity to trade with the Glanfathens, and the Dukes were furious. They exiled me from the Brotherhood, scoured the suns from my breastplate, put me on a ship to raid Ceres. Diverus, I was lucky to escape with my life. I worked as a guard. Caravans, ships, wealthy merchants. I did not discriminate. After my exile, both my purpose and my pride were gone. The years have taken me from the Eastern Reach to the Deadfire. Some would say it is fate that has brought us together again, Watcher. But you must already know what I think. It is just luck. Time will tell if it is good or ill. Well, even if he has taken a special interest in you, I doubt he is any less mad than I predicted. And I doubt Bereth and the other gods will consider your debt to them fulfilled. Merla, all of it. But this is just the same as before, no? The gods are playing their games and leaving us to settle the wager. We need to find a way to turn the tables on them, you and I. Diverus. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Shoti. She is a child in thought, a child in action. If she wants to live in a fantasy, that is her choice. But she is so easily wounded by ideas counter to her own. Are Ed Saren's truly so sheltered? Whatever her problems are, they are hers. If she insists on trying to make them mine, she will end up hurt in more than one way. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior. But her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well.
You are welcome in Sayuka, traveler, as surely as the winds stir the sea.
No, no, no. How many times must I demonstrate the proper way to greet a visitor?
I say, I must have forgotten again. Will you remind me of the line, Undersecretary?
We say clear skies, traveler. Simple, elegant, and no smiling. Do you understand, Greeter Tebe?
Can you repeat it once more? I want to make sure I've got it. Questions, traveler? Sayuka, known to my people as Ribiri, is a colonial outpost of the Royal Deadfire Company.
The island of Sayuka is the Royal Deadfire Company's center of engineering research and development in the archipelago. Our work is directed by Fleet Master Okaya, the youngest Rawatayan ever to hold the title. Best of her class at the Naval Academy in Tokoa, and a brilliant engineer, our Fleet Master.
You forgot to mention the giant sharks, Undersecretary. Giant sharks, giant coral, giant trees, Hekira. The only thing not bigger in Sayuka is Asquana.
Small mercy.
No one knows why things grow large in Sayuka, but there are all sorts of theories. Me? I think Gallowayne smiles on us.
Superstition is unbecoming of a Royal Deadfire Company officer, Tebe.
I say, it's a lucky thing I'm not one then. Hekira, I wonder the same every day.
Tebe learns to perform her duties as a Rawatayan might. Her fellow Juana show a lamentable disinterest in the proper way of doing things.
Do not speak about me as if I am not here. A career sandal sniffer and busybody, so far as I can tell.
You ungrateful sag! I am the second in command to Fleet Master Okaya, the governor of your piddling little island, and I will not be mocked by a smart-mouthed idler like you!
So I have heard many, many times. You don't know the half of it.
What was that, Greeter Tebe?
Surely just the breeze, Undersecretary.
You will call me Sir.
Akira, I certainly will not.
Oh, greetings. Might I help you with something? I suppose. I was a proud man once, a Gold Pack knight. Then I took a job and it went poorly. I could no longer stay with the Order after that. In the years since, I have wandered the length of the Deadfire, dedicating my life to self-discipline and abstination from worldly distractions. It is only through suffering that the soul becomes strong. Do you understand? Well, I am waiting for someone. But I do not know when they will arrive or who they will be when they get here. All I know is that they are a seer, and they seek me. So I wait. I will not, but it does not matter. I have this amulet here, and I yet draw breath. That is all I need. No? Someone is coming for me, and they will know my amulet. Perhaps you have a point. Just, please, take good care of it. I have already given you my most prized possession, and you ask for more still. Fine. I will show you what I can. For 3,000 copper. Fine by me. Find me if you need me.
Artillery trajectory calculations. Terribly tedious and lamentably imprecise in a storm. Ah, but the numbers distract me. Where are my manners? You found me with a rare spare moment. Did you not read the name on the door before you came in? You do know you're in the office of the Fleet Master, I hope. Ah, you meant to ask why I'm important enough to have my name on a door. I'm a Fleet Master of the Rawatayan Navy stationed at Sayuka, a research colony of the Royal Deadfire Company. Andra's mortar. Storms that strong, that consistent. I suspect they're not natural. To one unfamiliar with the Rawatayan Navy, perhaps. But mine is an administrative position. I see to the smooth running of Sayuka. Of course, it'd be a sight easier if there weren't the coral to contend with. You misunderstand. I don't command ships. I command this port. Rawatayan vessels docking here are under my protection, but I don't tell them where to go. That's the Hazanui's job.
Oi, Cap! There he be. There be Romaro. Sure as my arse be blue.
I wish you'd not come, my lad. Pleased though I be to see you. Even Aldi's anarchists spare no mercy for mutineers.
Aye, but you, a traitor? The very thought of it be ludicrous. Return with us. I'll be protecting you, and we'll be seeing to your fair judging.
I can't, Blue. Much as I loathe to leave. I'm dead to these waters, and they to me.
Break my biscuits and call me Swabby. You've gone addled in your dotage, ain't you? Captain, unsheathe that silvered tongue of yours, and talk some damn sense into this old sort.
I couldn't bear to remain, sheltered or no. It's a hopeless feeling, bearing witness to the slow decline of something I once held such pride in.
There still be pride to be had. Honor, too. Things be changing sure as shit, but you can't thread them narrows if you ain't even it to wheel.
I hope I'm wrong, if only for your sake. I don't think the Principe can survive as is, and I can't watch something I devoted my life to sink into ruin. The Principe have changed, and not for the better. Once, we aligned behind a common purpose. Now, we fractured into two extremes, each wallowing in its own corruption. Ak, these roomy eyes have seen too much. Nepotism and cronyism run rampant, rotting the Principe from inside out. Power consolidates behind the least deserving. The Consuelo's leadership founders, and with it, my faith.
Belay that plan of you, old sea dog. You're no good as any, there ain't no faith on these waters, save that you be finding for yourself. Betwixt your brains and my swagger, we'll be right in the good ship Principe San Petrina forthwith. and be shot of these ship-squiffy doldrums.
A fine dream. I pray to Ondra that you achieve it. For me, though, the current flows but one way. A return to the Principe would mean my death. I've not heard every charge against me, but that of mutiny, of that charge, I bear guilt.
Why? The Sorcerer were our home and kin. Were our cock-swelling pride. And you bartered it to an half-drowned old elf for a pint-bilged fucking clipper? 14 years I spent swabbing them decks. Longer yet for you. Captain Bastion trusted you. I trusted you.
Ac, bon amico. Sientere, Seraphin. I've disappointed you, hurt you. No words can justify my actions. I only hope you believe me, that I did what needed doing.
How can I?
Ac, that I am. Many things. For many reasons. I learned long ago that it's oft times better to hold your tongue.
The Watcher here reminded me that you and me, we be deeper than two hands on a deck. We be kin. You be the closest thing I've ever had to a father. And if you be setting sail, I'll be embarking with you.
Your journeys with this Watcher have changed you, Blue. You wear it well, bon amico. Captain Bastion had the Sorcerer slaving.
Slaving? What kind of fathom-headed hornswoggle be this? The Sorcerer were my kin. They weren't slaving. I hunted slavers for the captain. We freed slaves together.
So I also believed. But Bastion sold those we saved to the Crooksburg slavers. I found records of it in his quarters, almost a decade's worth. When I confronted him, it went poorly. Sientere, bon amico. Forgive me. I meant you not to know. To keep your faith in our traditions. To remain optimistic. A bright star within the Principe.
Cut him loose, Cap. Aye, he did the Deadfire a fine turn by sinking them slavers. But among the Consuelo, mutiny means death. Better go on for a no.
Agrasima, Watcher. The Clipper will be loaded soon, and then we'll be away. Cores, Seraphin. Bon amico. Take this. May you have rare cause to use it. I hope we meet again someday. On calmer seas.
Cores, bon amico. Ahoy, Captain! Most everything, Cap. Truth be told, I've not felt so cozy in a crew since my tour on the Sorcerer. With Romero and the lot. Good times and a half, that. Methinks me more crazy uncle than brother, but I appreciate your saying it all the same. By way of expressing my gratitude, I've a tribute to be presenting. It's meant to be worn by a great captain. I think you rightly qualify. And I think you'll look right spiff in it too. Romero gifted it to me when I took leave of the Sorcerer. He had this notion I'd make captain myself someday. Mayhaps I coveted a captain's quarters when I were a wee swabby, but serving with Ferrante, with yourself, seeing what leading a crew takes, Well, I reckon it's like marrying. It just ain't for me. Now, for first, I've got less than an all-in's thimble worth of patience for all the politics, glad-handing, cronyism and sycophancy that goes along with the Consuelo. But mostly, this heart be twice as soft as this belly. Probably as furry, too. Mayhaps I could captain a boat like yourself, all even-keeled and kindly. But you're a rare sort, aren't you?
Most helms could use a captain with a thimble of self-awareness.
I've always had a way with the lasses. Pleasure be entirely mine, Cap. May it serve you at least half as well as I.
We're under attack! Hold them off while I tell the others! There's no time! I have to warn the engineers!
I'm told you were instrumental in our stand against the Druids. Well done. The Druids have harried us from the moment we made landfall. For a bunch of pencil-twiddling engineers, you mean? Several days ago, I dispatched a small force to quell them, but I've heard nothing of them since. To be frank, I suspect they were killed. And I no longer have enough people to repel another attack. We Rowathians are tougher than most, but we're engineers all the same. We weren't trained to fight. Given your impressive showing in our hour of need, I'd hoped I might impose on you with a request for aid. Go to the bog where I sent my people. You'll find the Druids' leaders there, no doubt. Kill them. Should you do so, the Royal Deadfire Company would stand in your debt, and I would be immensely grateful.
What can I do for you? Sayuka? Bit of a backwater if you ask me, but don't tell the fleet master I told you so. This used to be where the fleet would send a person after they'd seen a fellow sailor blown to bits by a cannonball or what have you. That was before those mad druids out in the bog started sending bears and wild cats over the walls, of course. Let me know if you're in the market for something pointy. Everyone's always gotta ask. Not that I blame them. It is a good story. I was seeing this guy. Let's call him, I don't know, Kono. Kono and I had been carrying on a while when I started making noise about wanting to move in. Frightened the boy so bad, he went and joined the Royal Deadfire Company in the middle of the night. Thing is, I'm a deft hand with a throwing knife, and I know my way around 10 kinds of blades. So I followed him into the service. Pulled my weight, got on a good ship. Kono eventually left to go to poetry school or what have you. But I stayed. Haven't heard a complaint yet. Put your eyes on these.